Hello, hello! David Snowbeck here from Snowbeck Games. Welcome to the stream. I can see we've got Smail Liba, myself, V, and RWWKV6 on the overlay. We got some really cool characters today, guys. I got a bald, bearded guy with a big axe going. AJ Slay, welcome to the stream. You got kind of a crowned, bearded guy going. Smail Leba is a mustachioed orc. Who did I miss? RWWKV6 has got some sweet, looks like armor on your arms. Antonio Cano, welcome to the stream. You got a lady in a dress with a braid. This is cool. I don't think anybody. Hey, Ricardo. You've got a braided, bearded orc. I don't think anybody got a boring character this time. Let me fidget with the overlay for a moment. As I've mentioned basically every time, the overlay is also a Godot game that we built on stream some months ago. Let me get it into proper overlay mode here. And one more thing I gotta hit over in OBS. And we should be overlaid. Hey Logan, welcome to the stream. Oh, you broke the run we were on. Your character is kind of not that interesting. Which of course no fault of yours. They're random. I mean, your hat's kind of interesting. Oh, and maybe is that a I'm hitting my microphone here. Is that a goatee? Okay, never mind. Your character's interesting. Your character's interesting too. What are folks saying? Morning, hi, hello. My dude looks beefy. RWWKV6. Yogan says yo sunglasses. I don't know what it's like down in Milwaukee. In here in Appleton, it's real sunny. Great looking weather. I can't wait to go for a walk later. All right. Whoa, Ricardo, what do you got going on? Ricardo's working on a GitHub issue. How is everyone doing, by the way? I forgot to ask, but how are your guys' projects going? What's going on? Give me your updates. Ricardo, it looks like, is working on some Godot hacking. Move 2D debug collision drawing from collision shape 2D. Oh, is this related to like what we were talking about in Discord earlier about drawing the underlying shapes in the physics server? Cool. So what's actually doing the drawing then? 2D notification draw. Okay, I don't want to get too into this because this is not the David reviews other people's PRs to Godot stream. Although that'd be actually kind of a cool stream to do, to be honest, now that I'm saying it out loud. This is the we're going to work on a VR thing stream. So most recently, the last 4 streams, we've been working on this really cool debug feature for the Godot rollback netcode add-on to debug, frame by frame what happened in a match based on the logs. But we're not working on that today. We are not doing that today. I could sense that people were maybe getting a little bit sick of that. So we're changing gears to work on a VR prototype that I have been experimenting with for the last bunch of weeks. I am really excited about it. Honestly, if I could just work on this all the time, I would be happy. But I also have to sneak in those YouTube videos, the rollback netcode add-on videos. The next one's going to be coming out Monday, by the way, unless I somehow fail to record the second part of it over the next 3 days. So I think I'm going to do it. Yeah, let me show you guys what this is. I did show it a little bit last stream in a video clip, but I'm going to attempt to actually put on my headset and show this. And it's actually like, it's a little weird wearing the VR headset and the audio headset, but I think I can do it. I practiced a little bit. Hey, Mr. Man, how's it going? Bringing some of the VR crew up into here. All right, let me try and do my headset and do the casting, and hopefully this will work, and I will walk you guys through the little prototype that I've been working on. All right. Yeah, that sort of works. let me let me look through the nose hole here and get over to casting and get this thing going. Share button. Do it. Do it now, Oculus. All right. Hopefully, let me look through the nose hole again. Yay! It looks like it's working. So I don't know if this is actually going to be working right because I like launched this an hour ago and it stayed running with like debug and everything connected to Godot. So there might be some weirdness, but here, let me move to a kind of an open space. So the idea is it's a voxel builder where you also build the voxels out of other smaller voxels. So here we've got, we're on the big grid now, so I can draw some blocks. I can move this, how close I'm drawing, how far I'm drawing. I've also got this like ray mode. Oh, you have to ignore the red ray. That's a thing that we're going to be fixing, I think, right away on stream. This red ray is something else. The blue ray here is the actual drawing one. And I've got two different tools. Again, as a prototype, there's some things you're going to have to overlook, such as all of these buttons just being plain unlabeled red buttons. But I know what they do. I don't know when I'm going to get around to actually putting some labels on them. But I guess when I want other people to test it out and try it. So this is another tool. I've got a brush tool and a shape tool that can only do one shape. It's a rectangle is the shape it can do. So I just drew a rectangle by drawing it out. But the main feature of this is this sort of fractal idea that you're building things on a voxel grid, but then you also build the voxels in the same way. So to do that, I go to my kind of like palette of voxels. I press this to go into the like Voxel Builder thing. I think I called the block builder in code. And then here, let's make something that looks a little bit different, a little bit more interesting. We'll make like, I think on the little video I made, I did a little stair also. We'll make another little stair. That's not exactly symmetrical. Let's put some like some other colors in here just to spice it up, because all of the kind of like default voxels don't have multiple colors. So we'll put in a couple little extra colors just because we can. So I'll put some little red dots in here. And I drew it over and made the voxel bigger. So yeah, I didn't show this in my other video, but the voxels can be bigger than a single grid cell. Right now I have it set up so you can do up to 4 grid cells. And then when you place it on the bigger voxel, this single voxel will take up all this extra space, and the logic is in there to, you know, make sure you can't draw things in the place that's taken up by this. But we're not going to do that. We are going to do just a single grid cell. And let me switch back to the other tool. Need to go delete mode. So I'm pressing, what is that button? A on the controller to go to delete mode, which is not deleting. Oh, because I've been toggling it. There we go. Okay, so here's our little stair with a couple little extra dots in there. And then I can switch back to the bigger voxel mode. And now on my palette, I have this to choose from. It's rotated in a real funny way on the palette. I'm not sure what's going on there. But then I can paint, we're going to stand on this side so it looks like stairs. Then I can paint some stairs using the voxel that I created. And I'm kind of thinking of this, I don't know how I'm thinking of this. I don't know exactly what the game is going to be yet. Ooh, the frame rate's getting real nasty. Frame rate's getting real bad. I gotta get out of here. I'm not exactly sure what the game is going to be yet, but I have some ideas. I mean, it could just end up being an art tool rather than a game, or I think I like to think of it more as a level design tool, like you're building a space to exist in rather than a single you know, like piece of art like you would build in a Magica voxel or something like that. But yeah, I hope that makes sense. Let me know if you have any questions. At the moment, because it's a prototype, it's a complete mess internally. it's just a big disaster show of spaghetti code. I guess the things that I'm trying to do with this prototype, because with a prototype you kind of have to decide what your goal is in advance. It's two things. It's some design learnings, like getting in there and using this thing and seeing what it feels like and see if there's something interesting there, and then some architectural learnings, because I want to be able to structure it in a way that I could easily make a VR and non-VR version of the same thing using the same code. And so those are kind of the two problems I'm trying to answer, and whatever terrible, nasty, disgusting code we have to write to get there is fine. I'm using XR tools that Bastian and now there's a new contributor who's doing a lot of work. I think his name is Malcolm. I haven't had a chance to interact with him very much yet, other than to say that he seems to be pretty active on the XR channel on the Godot Discord. I'm using XR tools to implement the teleport and this keyboard and UI thing. I don't know if I'm going to keep using XR tools. I love the idea of XR tools, but every time I use some piece of it, I'm like, this is great, but I would like to change it a little bit to do some other thing, and I don't know. So in the future, I may end up dropping some of the XR tool stuff, or I don't know, maybe trying to make it more extensible and contribute upstream. I'm not entirely sure what my strategy is there yet. But yeah, I can show you the current desktop version if it works. I haven't tested it in like 2 weeks, so let's just try running the desktop version and see what that does. Okay, yeah, so far so good. So there's none of the stuff that the palette does with like changing which voxel you're using or switching to the other mode. What can I do? I forget. Is this all I can do? I thought I had the ability to delete also. Was that, oh yeah, tab lets me switch to delete mode. But this is using pretty much all of the exact same code as the VR version. And oh, the other thing that I want to experiment with, not yet because we're not quite ready, I mean a lot will need to happen, but is adding multiplayer. I mean, it's me. I'm going to add multiplayer, right? And collaborative building and how exactly that would look and how that would feel. And that's the reason that a desktop version is important to me. If I'm going to be making something that is essentially a social experience, limiting it to VR seems like a bad idea. Like I want to build it VR first to make VR be the kind of native experience that it's designed for, but I don't want to make it so that only like 5 people will play it. So that's what I got. I see if anyone's saying. Are you planning this for web VR or native? So right now I'm doing it all on the Quest. So with the OpenXR plugin for Godot, the plan is definitely to do it in WebXR also. The reason that I haven't done that yet is that I'm in this slushy experimental stage where, like I said, I'm making garbage code. It runs real slow. You place enough voxels and the FPS will drop to like 7. And getting it to work in WebXR is a bunch of extra stuff that needs to be done, not just related to performance, but I'm sure that this would be a disaster show as it is in, ooh, I've been bringed. Thank you, anonymous bringer. But yeah, I definitely will make a WebXR version at some point. Once it's not a prototype, once it's a real thing, I'll make a WebXR version. Because again, like the same principle, I want people to play it. And WebXR is a really great way to get people to try things without having to install something, especially since if I'm making this as a Quest experience, that would mean it's going to go on SideQuest, which means you have to sign up for a developer account with Facebook to put it on your device and all of these wacky things. So yeah, WebXR in the end. So right now, what I want to work on is implementing loading and saving, basically, which is what I was doing last when I was working on this last week. And why we have the beginnings of this little bit of UI. Hopefully, we'll be able to throw this together quick. I always say that, though. Hopefully, we'll be able to throw that together really quick. But I think that's potentially I mean, not potentially. It's what's stopping me from really experiencing how this tool works is not having load and save. The thumbnail for this video, I don't know how many of you actually saw it. I made like a little living room with a couch and a TV. And the reason I haven't created much more interesting stuff in it, ooh, who's stuck at the bottom? Somebody stuck at the bottom. There we go. Is because I can't save anything. Every time I make a change to the code or anything at all, I lose everything I created. So I need to have this load and save function so I can get some real experience to really get the feel for what using this tool is like. So that's what we're going to hack on first. As you saw when we were in VR, hopefully you saw it. I don't know how good of, ooh, I'm still in there. How good of an experience that was to watch this. I guess I could have made this full screen. There's a way to do this like widescreen thing, but it cuts off so much of the viewport that I don't think I'm going to use it. But as you saw in there, there were the two pointers. One of those pointers is the XR Tools pointer for interacting with the 2D UIs, and the other is the Voxel Editor pointer from my actual game, from my code. And what we need to do is, number one, we need to line up the pointers so they're in the exact same spot. Number two, we need to hide the pointer from XR Tools. Like, we still want it to be there, but we don't want to see it. We don't want to have it add that extra mesh. And then I didn't show this, but you can interact with that 2D viewport and the keyboard, but it will also place blocks at the same time. So we need to make it so that when you are interacting with the UI, it disables the voxel editor and only does the button pressy stuff. And once we have that little bit in, I think it's just like normal 2D UI stuff for Godot, which I think will be real easy. My plan is basically we will have a bunch of buttons, load, save, load library, save library, library being like your collection of voxels that you made, with the idea that you could maybe have multiple worlds that are built from the same collections of voxels. And so we'll have those buttons, and then when you're in load and save land, I'm just going to like read a directory and make buttons for each of the files in it to allow you to open for loading, and then saving, you know, you'll just type in a name or something like that. I don't know. We'll figure it out, guys. We'll get this. So first things first. Oh, this is gonna get annoying though, having this like multiple headsets on my head. Maybe if I loosen. Okay. First things first. Like I said, we need to get those pointers lined up. Which. Okay. So this. Which one is this? This looks like the pointer from XR Tools, and it's actually not showing the mesh. That I think that's just the ray cast. And then the voxel pointer is normally dynamically created. I'm just gonna like create it by hand in here, and then we'll delete it again. What is that called? It is function something. I adopted this sort of convention that XR Tools does, where it makes these like function nodes that you put like as components under the controllers to implement things for them. So this, I guess, is the voxel editor scene, and so now we can see my little dumb, triangle thing there, and we're going to attempt to just line these things up. And I think we could even do that by going in here and looking at like what are the rotation values on this thing. So the whole tool thing is rotated. Rotation degrees, -75 degrees on the X. Let's go over back here and we'll rotate this, -75 degrees on the X. That didn't work. What is wrong here? Are we facing a different direction to begin with? Very different. I mean, we could just try to line it up by sight, but it seems like we should be able to copy something here. Too much rotation on too many things. Okay, so this one, then tool is rotated -75 degrees on the X. Is it pointed in a different direction? pointer itself is not rotated. The cone is translated a little bit. It's moved up on the Y. I guess, yeah, because I want it to, and it does, like appear like sort of here on the controller, even though you can't see it in the game. So that still is the x-axis, right? And let me just eyeball it and see what happens. Or rotate it approximately. I end up with like really small numbers, like 17, and it's not in the same direction. What the heck am I doing that's making these be so different? I guess it doesn't really matter. Like I said, we're this is a prototype. Let's do something nasty. Like eyeball this whole thing. So we want this one. Let's move up. Rotate it a little bit. Visually, that's right on. Yeah, this change in Y, I think we should be able to copy that. Because that looks like about the same value. Pointer, cone. Let's just copy and paste this and see what that looks like. No, that's totally off. I have no idea why that's so different. Some global space thing, or maybe, hey, what about the pointer in the pointer scene? Is it rotated any? Is it pointed in like some crazy direction? So it has this change. Wow, I really don't know. But whatever, we're just gonna eyeball it. We're just gonna eyeball it. It's gonna be fine. And then I can get into VR and see this, see how that looks. Hey, the clean, how's it going? How's you're doing a VR thing, right? Or I can't remember if you were still doing that or if you were working on something else. Anyway, if you are working on a VR thing, I'd be curious to know how it's going. Okay, where are my controllers? We'll get used to this VR back and forth, I hope. Yeah, that looks perfect. Like if I turn on, almost perfect. Perfect enough. Perfect enough. I just wish we could get that exactly right. Is it I don't know. Good enough to move on. I can fidget with it later. But yeah, so we can press buttons, get in here, press Y, and back there it is still, I believe, placing blocks. Yes. It is still placing blocks back there. So we need to hide the red line and disable and enable the voxel editor. There's already a built-in thing for enabling and disabling the voxel editor when you point at the palette. So I'm thinking we can just make use of that. So pointer, show laser, turn that off. I believe that's the mesh. Target, I'm gonna try turning that on just because I don't know what that is and I kind of want to see it. And then how should we do this? So when we are pressing the menu button to show the keyboard, to show the menu thing, that is a place where we could enable or disable the voxel editor. So we have access to that in here, I think. At least I thought so. Builder Manager. Builder Manager should give us the voxel editor. Beautiful. Or is that the VR Voxel Editor? Man, there's like I said, like part of the exploration I'm doing here is about architecture and dealing with like these components that, ooh, my character's all stuck weird in there. Dealing with these components that I want to make sense both in desktop and VR means like I have some components that exist multiple times. Like there is the Voxel Editor, and then there is the VR Voxel Editor that uses it, and then there's like the desktop Voxel Editor that uses it from there, and then I can get myself all wound up and confused. So Builder Manager attaches some stuff. Let's go look at the code for Builder Manager. So Voxel Editor in here, this is the generic Voxel Editor component, and then function Voxel Editor would be the VR one. So which one lets me disable it? Voxel Editor. Do I have an enable disable? Enable. Let me go look at the VR one. Does that have an enable disable? One of them does, because somehow I enable it and disable it when we're pointed at the palette. So palette detector, if in palette, we said in palette equals true, voxel editor visible, pause voxel tool. Okay, I guess this is the magic. This is the magic right here. Let's go back to our main script. And so this will be builder manager, voxel editor, we make it invisible, manager, and we pause the tool. And we make it invisible when the menu is visible, so that would be not menu visible, and we pause the voxel editor when the menu is visible. Okay, so this should theoretically solve the problem where I'm placing voxels while still while I'm using the menu. Okay, so let me show the menu. Ooh, and it's still showing that. That's not right. Something's not right there. Yeah, and it's still placing voxels. What is happening? So I hide this, I can place voxels. I come here, I can still place voxels. What did I miss? Let's go look at the debugger. Nothing interesting going on there. Okay, so I'm pressing the menu button. I'm setting menu visible. If the menu is visible, then the voxel editor becomes not visible. If the menu is visible, then we pause the voxel tool, and vice versa. I wonder too, like if that can conflict with the palette here, because we're also making this turn on and off when I go in and out of the palette, and I don't want it to turn on and off in two situations. I only want it to turn on and off in the one simulation. So maybe I need a new thing. Maybe I need a new thing. How would I make that work? A lot of flags going on here. It would be kind of nice if I could just remove the voxel editor node when we're in the menu, but what if we made it so that when the function voxel editor, this node that is added for VR, when it is hidden, it just doesn't do anything. That doesn't. What's a better way around this? So I can add another flag. I could add an enabled flag, which when it's set, it would do a bunch of stuff, such as like not actually run the process, not actually deal with these button presses. Let's just start with that. I mean, it's going to get ugly because I have just way too many flags on way too many things. But as we discussed earlier, we're okay with ugly for the moment. And then we need a set enabled. If enabled does not equal enabled, then enabled equals enabled. And then we need to say, oops, we need to say when we're enabled, we need to, again, mess with the same properties on the voxel editor, which was what? Visible equals enabled, and voxel editor pause voxel tool equals not enabled. So we'll pause the voxel tool when we're enabled, and then in here we need to basically say if not enabled return, and in here if not enabled return, if not enabled return. This hold timer business. I think we can leave that be repeat timer. Probably need to stop that. Hang on. So what do these two timers do exactly? When we are okay. So this is just moving the cursor around. So actually, I don't care. I don't care. You can move the cursor. Like, that's fine. Okay. So that's what set enabled disable does. Let's go back to our code where we were messing with this. In our main.gd, when we are showing the menu rather than doing what we were doing before, let's try function voxel editor enabled not menu visible. Okay, let's give that a shot. Oh, the clean says I scrapped my lightsaber thing. Not fun to play and not fun to develop anymore. Oh, it was looking cool, but yeah, I mean that's what you got to do. That's what you got to do is prototypes. If they're not working, and you haven't found the way quickly enough, just gotta toss them and move on. Okay. So we are showing it, and the voxel editor is not doing anything. Beautiful. I think what happened before, why it wasn't working, is I had my hand so close to the palette, and assuming you guys can see that, you can see this, right? And that was causing it to untoggle that same property that we were using before. So this is beautiful. So now when I switch out of here, I'm back to the voxel editor, switch into here, and now I'm in this menu. I can type some stuff on this virtual keyboard, and I do like the little ball pointer thing. That's cool. Do I want the ray also? Like the ray is kind of nice. I turned it off because I didn't want it to conflict with the other ray, but I didn't think about the fact that like it actually isn't visible at the same time, because here's our blue ray, but when I come in here, we're hiding it anyway. Yeah, now that thing's stuck out there. Okay, so I think I want to turn the ray back on, the ray for the pointer, the red one, and then hide and show that when we're hiding and showing the menu also. So if I am over in, this is the desktop main, I need the VR main. Let's go to the VR main. If I'm in here, I want to hide the function pointer by default, turn the show laser back on. I'm going to hide the menu by default, and the pointer, I need to be able to access it, so we'll add a little onReadyVar here. So the pointer, maybe let's call it function pointer. Function pointer. And I'll put this up below teleport because I like to keep those related things together. And then we'll just do another thing that we're going to enable and disable here. So function pointer. I think we can just hide it and show it. It won't do anything hang on, does it have like an enable disable flag? It does. So what happens when you set that? Let's go check that out. Set enabled. It changes whether the laser is visible, whether the raycast is enabled. It doesn't mess with whether the target thing is there. And then does it change the way it's controls? Yeah, so the raycast will never collide if it's not enabled. Yeah, so let's toggle that. Let's toggle that. We'll do function pointer enabled equals menu visible. And then maybe, in fact, I'll just take this target thing away. Let's give this quickly a try. Should just be a tiny minor change. Hang on, you load me in there? Yeah, there we go. Come on, Oculus. Okay, so now I turn on the menu. I do not have my ray. Where's my ray? I am able to point at things. I do not have my ray. That's really weird. I thought I re-enabled it. Oh, you know what? I also made this invisible, which I don't think I need to do. I think I want to make this be not enabled. Let's try this. Guys, let me know if this VR project is turning out to be epically boring as a thing to stream. I mean, we were talking last week about possible things to do for this stream, and I gave a couple of options. One of them I remember was doing Godot Rust stuff, which I still think would be fun. I ended up opting for this because this is a project I wanted to work on. I was like, this is what I want to do. So if I'm going to be spending 2 hours doing something, here we go. So now the ray is here, and now I can type and stuff. All right, cool. So onto the real work. Let me actually commit this right away. Oh, and I can get rid of some of these to-dos from my to-do list. Take a quick look at the diff, make sure I'm not committing anything that is strange in some way. Antonio Cano says, do what you love. Thank you, Antonio. That is great advice, I think, just in life. Okay, so what is a good commit message here? Enable, disable the editor and menu pointer when the menu is shown hidden. Okay. And the code for this is private presently on GitLab, mostly because it's embarrassing. As a prototype, it's a disaster, like I mentioned before, and I usually just share everything by default, but I usually also put a lot more thought into my code than I am here, and I'm a little bit worried about putting this prototype up. But if people think it would be useful to see the code for it, I mean, I could make it public. It's fine. There's nothing There's nothing to lose except for my pride. Okay, so we did that. Now we need to make the menu. We need to make the menu, which I started doing. Where did I start doing that? I think it was file management. Okay. Yeah, and I started overthinking this scene too when I was working out before. I have this way that I usually build UIs in Godot, which is like I make a scene that has like a container node and then a bunch of like other nodes in it. I usually call the container node screen, and then I have these different screens. And I kind of hate that pattern. I use it all the time, but there's got to be a better way to do it. I've been thinking about like I could make a little script that implemented like this kind of idea of cards, and have it maintain like a queue of which cards were shown, and then you could sort of move down the queue and move back up the queue. And I don't know. Let's not do that. I mean, I would love to do that, but let's not do that right now because I want to get something working quickly. So what we want on this screen is, I guess, yeah, let's set up the pattern that I usually do that I just said I don't want to do, but I'm going to do it. We want sort of containment node, or maybe the file management can be the containment node in this case. And then here, this would be like main menu or main screen, something like that. And then here what we want is a bunch of buttons, which will be, I think, just load save and then load save library. Oh, and new. Good to check your notes. We'll have a new button, a load scene button. Oops. Save scene button. Load library button. And save library button. And then we'll put in just the names for those. New scene, I guess. Or no, I'm just gonna name these. I'm gonna name the scene ones just as they are, new load save, and then I'll put library on the other buttons. I think that'll be the better way to visually distinguish what they are. I worry if I put load scene, load library, save library, like people will just not see the second word very well. At least I have trouble with that when I'm using various UIs. Okay, and I would like these buttons to be bigger. From what I remember in the VR UI, they look real tiny. It's in rect. Let's make a min height of, I don't know, is 50 higher? 50 is higher. Yeah. And then so what actually is going to be doing the work? What is, ooh, I'm still in there. What is actually going to be doing the work? Let me actually just turn the headset off. There, it's frozen. So over here in main is where we are attaching the menu, where we're hiding and showing the menu. So this would be a potential place we could have some signals on the file management script that say when new and load and save and all that stuff is pressed. Or the other option is we actually give the menu a copy of the voxel editor, like give it the voxel editor object and let it do the actual work. But I think I like the signal idea better, where main is kind of in charge and file management does nothing but UI-ish stuff. So let's pursue that approach. So we're going to need to attach a script here. And ultimately, we're going to have a bunch of signals. So we'll say new scene. I don't like. So I like signals being verbs in the past tense. As far as naming, and I don't know what that would be here because it's not new scene created because the scene hasn't been created. It's like new button pressed, but I want to get a little bit away from the idea of buttons because I want the UI to be able to do whatever it wants. So yeah, I'm gonna have to break my kind of naming convention and name these not as verbs in the past tense. So we'll say new scene, load scene, save scene. Oh, and these will need to have like a file name. So this will be like file name, and then the same for load library, save library. Load library is going to be interesting. Let's say you make a whole scene with one voxel library, and then you go to load a new library. Like, what happens? Do all the voxels just change to the same voxels with the same ID? I mean, I think that's what would happen. Or it would just crash because it would be like, there are no voxels with these IDs and explode. But let's not worry about that now. I just want to be able to do the dangerous things myself in order to test this thing out. So if someone clicks new, this should be the easiest one to support because all it's going to do is fire the signal or emit this signal. New scene. And let's just go ahead and implement this one right away. Just so we have all the dots connected, and that will make it hopefully faster to move through the rest of the things. So where's our menu? Here's our menu. Oh no. No, this is... I was hoping to be able to just like find the scene in here, but the way that XR Tools has made this, it's loading it dynamically, so we actually have to create the we have to connect to the signal dynamically also. So in the onReady, we're gonna have to go this will be like file management, which we're going to get out of menu, viewport 2D and 3D, and I don't know what it's going to call the underlying node. Or should we, is there like a method we can call here? Get scene instance? Okay, yeah, never mind. We will call that method, so we don't need to do an onReady var thing. We'll do file management equals menu. Oh, I guess oh no, we already have it. So viewport 2D and 3D, get scene instance, and then here we're going to connect the signals. So the signal we want to connect to is new scene, self. We'll do on file management new scene. And I'm not entirely sure what it should do on a new scene. I'll have to figure that out. I guess probably hand it off to the builder manager. The builder manager is this component that exists both in the VR and non-VR version to handle all of the like things that don't matter, that aren't VR specific or desktop specific, although it does like initialization for both too, so it's, I guess it kind of knows about both things. I don't know, that's part of the design that I'm hoping to flesh out through this process. On file management, new scene, and so then I guess builder manager, new scene, create new scene. Create new. We're actually not calling it scenes. In the builder manager, we're calling it world. So maybe I made a mistake naming all those things scene. Let me just double check that. If we're calling it world and builder manager, I'm going back and renaming those all to world. We totally are. We're calling it world and block. Okay. Yeah. load world, load world, then in here, world, 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 new world, and that wasn't too hard. World, world, new world, create new world. Okay. So then, over in Builder Manager, what do we need to do to create a new world? Well, say new, create new world. We need to hang on, let me look at the builder manager scene. We've got a world here, and this is, I think, what I'm calling a voxel object instance. So we can create a new voxel object, attach a new library to it, and then set it here. No, not VR main. I want Builder Manager. And so some of this stuff, yeah, so creating the original voxel object library. Yes. All this stuff needs to happen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this, paste it here, and then call create new world. And what all this is doing is it's initializing a voxel type, which is a cube based on a cube mesh, adding that to a new voxel library as the only voxel type in the library, and then setting up the voxel object and voxel library. So is that enough? If we were in block mode, we need to switch out of block mode. So we need to change builder target to builder target world. And that might be it, at least as far as this is concerned. There's some things I think we'll want to do in VR land as well. I think we're going to want to teleport the user to the origin. So that means we use our origin node, and we're going to set the global translation, or not global translate. We can just send the normal translation. Translation equals vector 0. Vector 3, 0. Okay. In theory, we should be able to create a new world now. Oh, let me see what's going on in chat. If anything, my little computer timed out here. Oh, nothing. Okay. Turn on my headset. I'm seeing the blackness of space. Why am I not seeing anything? Okay. Let's try pushing something here. Usually I would at least see like the main screen or something. We might end up having to reboot my quest. I hope not. Oh, here we go. And it looks like I have to reset up casting. Check the nose hole here. We're good, I think. Yep, we're good. Okay. So now let's build some stuff so we can see it go away. Bring up the menu. Whoa, okay, I made those buttons a little too big. And we hit new. And yeah, it deleted it. So that worked. We also need the menu to go away once we click new. So let me do that. I think we need to do like all of this stuff. So this needs to be moved to a new method. Or no, that's the showing the menu stuff. Oh, and the hiding the menu stuff. Yeah, so we need a method for this. We need a method like actually maybe I'll put it below here. Say func show menu visible boolean void yeah, so we need to say if menu visible does not equal visible, then we do all of these things. With the exception of this one, because this is actually what we need to do in here. This is toggling it. So this is looking for the menu button or the X button, and if you press it, it just says if the menu is visible, hide it. If the menu is not visible, show it. So we're going to replace that with our new method, and we're going to pass in for the visible argument not visible, like whether it's visible already or not. And then here we need to set menu visible equals visible, and that should do it. So then here we need to say show menu false. Okay. And I have turned on right now the debug synchronized script changes. Let's just test this out. Let's see if the game still running will work. We'll take my changes. I love when this feature works, but sometimes it doesn't. Huh. Okay, so it created a new area for us, but I can't actually do anything. That's really weird. Okay, well, possibly another thing we gotta debug, figure out. I'm going to redeploy. Dark is bad, Antonio says. The 3 dots are worse. The 3 dots are worse. Man, because you never know what's going to happen. It works. A classic toggle. I don't know why, but I love the word classic. Like referring to anything as classic just makes me happy. Okay, we're not there. Why aren't we there? This also sometimes happens where like it'll load it on the headset and then immediately crash with no feedback on either the headset or in Godot through the debugger. But usually just pressing it again works. But we can enjoy for a moment the sights of my Oculus Home. Oh, you're actually not seeing it. Ha ha ha. Okay. Well, now you will. Okay. We have got some stuff. Bring it out here. Hit new. The menu goes away, and so does the stuff. But I am unable to draw. I wonder what that's about. I'm just going to try like resetting all of the different things in here and see if any of that helps. No. If I go into here, am I able to draw? Yes. And if I switch back, can I then draw with this weird thing that I just made? Yes. But this, that is interesting. I wonder what's happening there. Let's cause it to happen again, and then let's set some breakpoints. So new, and I'm trying to place. Let me get into Godot. And where should we break? Mr. Oswald, man! Sorry, I'm late. Actually, something I forgot to do, which I just realized like this morning, is my time zone thing that I've been putting out, I think is wrong. Because like right now it's daylight savings time in the United States, but I think it's not still in Europe, or is it now in Europe, daylight savings time? But there's like a 2-week or 3-week period where the time zone difference changes, and I forgot to update what I put in my announcements. Anyway, we need to get to function voxel editor, and we will follow it down from here. I will press the button, and we will see what happens. So I guess start selection and stop selection. We'll look for both of those. And let me just look in here, make sure I'm placing this in a valid spot. Okay. Breakpoint has been hit. We've hit the button. Let's step into our voxel editor start selection. So I also have this kind of abstracted to have the voxel editor have separate tools that are controlled by like tool scenes, with the idea that I could arbitrarily add lots of new tools or even allow modding to add tools, since for whatever reason I'm obsessed with modding. So we're going to go into the current voxel tool start selection. Now we're in start selection in the, what is this? The brush tool, brush voxel tool. And we need to jump into do draw, step into. Here we gather some grid positions and stuff. So we grabbed grid pose. Okay, that looks like a valid grid position. Editor bounds. Let's see if that kills us. We'll step over. Nope. If grid pose equals last drawn voxel. Nope. If draw mode equals add, then we check if it has a voxel at this grid position. What? It says it has a voxel at that position? All right, well, I should have stepped into there, but let's find the editor and the voxel object. Voxels. It has no voxels. Okay, well, let's keep stepping. We're gonna come out of there. I guess let's follow through the rest of these. Stop selection. I don't care about stop selection because I don't think we draw on that. Let's try again. Are you back to normal? Yes. Place. All right. Step into, step into, step into, step over, step over, step over, step over, and then on this has voxel, we're going to step into. So I can take a look around in here. So this is our voxel object. And here's this voxels. Oh, there's a ton of stuff in it. Why didn't this get cleared out? You know what I bet it is? I bet this is the old object. I bet for whatever reason, some parts of the app still have reference to the old object, which we're going to definitely have to make sure that when we reset it, everything gets reset, because when we're loading things, that's also going to be important. So let's jump back to here. I'll just hit continue on this. Kill my breakpoints. Let's go back, not to here, to Builder Manager, where we are creating the new world. We are setting voxel object here, and we are not setting voxel object somewhere else that is important. What all has references to voxel object? So we had found ourselves in, so this is function voxel editor. I think that refers to the underlying voxel editor, the generic one, which it has reference to a voxel object instance and voxel object. Voxel object is a read-only variable. So voxel object instance, when voxel object instance changed, or when set voxel object instance happens, we're connecting to this signal, voxel object or library changed on the voxel object instance. So that the voxel object instance, I think, is the world node that we're setting this on. And so we're expecting this signal, voxel object or library changed, to be emitted. Voxel object or library changed. This is a voxel object, so we reset it here. That does look like it's getting reset. I guess. I guess we'll have to take a look at this signal and how it works and make sure it's doing the things it needs to do. So let's check that out. So that's voxel object instance. When we set the voxel object, we disconnect some stuff. We do this. We connect some stuff. We emit this with the new object. Okay, so maybe this one's doing fine, but it's the tool somewhere that's having a problem. I mean, we still should probably walk through this in the debugger. But, so set current voxel tool to nothing. Set current voxel tool, attach, detach. Do we need to maybe like reattach the voxel tool? That could be a thing. So like, let's go look at the brush voxel tool. How does it refer to the, well, it just calls editor voxel object set voxel. Okay, we're gonna follow this code in the debugger, and that's gonna tell us if this is working or not working. So what we want is voxel object instance set voxel object, and then we want to ensure that the right thing is happening in the voxel editor, which is this on voxel object changed. Voxel object changed. Oh, no. Okay, I was like, is this the method? And I'm, okay, never mind. Thought I saw a typo that wasn't there. Okay, and then I want to end up in here. I have sent an idea on Discord in general. Is it an idea related to the stream? Or an idea to like... Okay, I don't entirely understand. Oh, your idea is related to to how the overlay works? Whatever. I will check that out later. Thank you for the idea, but I will check that out later. Okay, so is the game still running? The game is still running. Let's hit some breakpoints. I do not appear to be... The game's not stopping on my breakpoints. Oh no, because the breakpoints are not on the placing of the block. Never mind, we moved that. We are now placing a breakpoint on new. So new happens. The breakpoint has gone. We are setting the voxel object. Let's step over. We're going to disconnect. We're going to reset the actual object. We're going to connect. We're going to rebuild from resource. And we're going to emit this signal. So all that seems good. Let's get to... We got here multiple times? So we never made it into here? Okay. We're not changing the object instance. This should get connected once. This signal does not appear to actually being, so on voxel object or oh, it is. It is a typo on voxel object or library changed. Before, when I suddenly thought I saw a typo, but then decided I didn't, there really was the exact typo that I thought was there. Okay, let's try this. Let's go. Oh, and I kind of want to remove my breakpoints, but I guess I'll remove them when they come up. Loading. There is so much loading. Okay, let's take a peek in Godot. Oh, I hit the breakpoint already. And I hit the next breakpoint. I guess that's good. That means it's actually happening. Okay. So, we'll draw our little arch. We will bring up the menu. We will hit new. That goes away. And oddly, I still am unable to draw anything. Now I am. Okay, I think we need to detach and reattach the current voxel tool. Although that seems strange that we would need to do that, but let's do that. So, oh, here we go. It should do that. The voxel object and voxel object library, if current voxel tool, detach, reattach. Maybe we need to not do that? Let's go look and see what the brush tool does when it attaches and detaches. So it'd be brush voxel tool, starting with a B. Brush voxel tool. Attach creates our preview scene. It connects to the editor config changed. And detach. Disconnects from there. Hides the preview. Disables drawing. Yeah, I'm actually at a loss as to why this would make a difference. It seemed like this stuff was what was not happening, or at least not happening correctly. Is there a reason get selected voxel might not work? Well, we're back to, we can put some breakpoints. We can put some breakpoints and see what's going on. I think I'm going to put a breakpoint here, because ultimately, well, no, I can't do it now, though. Or can I? Because I'm not in the situation. Okay. Let's show the screen here again. I'm going to draw some stuff. I'm going to go to new. It goes away, and then the preview is gone, and I can't draw. So this is when we're going to set the breakpoint. Oh, I saw someone say something. Antonio Cano, these are the kinds of errors I would spend a whole day looking what it could be and then dying inside when discovered. Hey, Boggy Autodog, how do you like the default editor colors? Wait, what? How do you like the default editor colors for over an hour non-stop? I'm not sure what you're asking, Boggy Autodog. Like the default Godot editor colors? I like them fine. I use the default. I've tried a couple of themes, but never really got into any of them. Okay, so has it hit my breakpoint? It has not hit my breakpoint. Is the tool like disabled or something? I mean the default vomit blue. You're criticizing the Godot editor theme? I mean, honestly, I don't mind it. I think colors is personal preference. If you have a theme you like better, I mean, go for it. Antonio Cano, I'm not sure how to pronounce your last name, sorry. Says at least it's not a white theme, but I actually kind of like white themes. I am don't see really good in dark light. So when it's white and it's blasting at my eyeballs, it's actually good for my weak eyeballs. But I know a lot of people that drives crazy. Okay, so it appears this is not getting called. Which would happen if the Voxel Editor, let's go over to the Voxel Editor. We have process if not voxel object instance or not voxel object or not voxel object instance library return if current voxel tool and not pause voxel tool. Is it possible that pause voxel tool is set? Pause voxel tool is not set. Current voxel tool. Okay, so voxel tool got cleared somehow. Okay, so what would clear the voxel tool? Oh, okay. So this method runs when voxel object changes or when voxel library changes. And so it's going to be called once with a voxel object that has no library, and then again with a voxel object that does have a library. And the first time it gets called, it clears the tool. So that the second time it gets called, like this stuff doesn't happen. Okay, that's weird. I don't know what the right answer to that is exactly, but I know a workaround that we can do, which will be rather than setting them kind of like one at a time. Where are we doing that? In Builder Manager? Rather than setting them one at a time, we could set them at the same time. So we'd go here, be like voxel object equals voxel object new, and then voxel object voxel library equals voxel library, and then we just do voxel object. Okay, I think that's the answer. Let me get rid of this breakpoint. I put some breakpoints over in the brush tool as well. I'm gonna get rid of those, and let's try this. It might work from the like live update of the script, but I'm just gonna redeploy it for the heck of it. Antonio says, "You disappoint me. If you're doing VR, then lean to khaki green since it has the least tough luma for the eyes. People who sculpt in 3D with clay use that. Interesting. Yeah, I do occasionally get like eye fatigue in VR. I meet up with my pa almost once a week to play table tennis, 11 table tennis, and what's the word? Mini golf. Walkabout mini golf, and we'll play for like 3 hours. And towards the end of that, like my eyes get tired. I've never really had eye fatigue from screens so much. Like they're just never, I don't know, never bright enough or something. Anyway, let's give this a try. Can you guys see? No, you cannot. We drew a thing. We opened a menu. We hit new, and we can still draw a thing. Yay! New is implemented. Wow, are we going fast or slow today? I mean, medium speed. It's 11:20. Okay. We completed a thing though. Let's commit this. All right. right, so we have the beginnings of our actual menu. We have new implemented, and that's a big enough victory for me to push this off to GitLab land. Implemented new scene, new world from menu. Okay. Yeah, I think we are doing pretty good. We're doing pretty good. Better than some streams where like stuck on the. I have a list of 3 things we're gonna work on, and we get stuck on a bug in the first one, and that's all we do. Okay, so what's next? We want to be able to load and save. We can't load if we haven't ever saved anything, so I guess save is up next. So how should saving work? Well, we hit save, and that should show us a line where we can type in a new file name, and it should also show us some old files that we could save over. And because this is a prototype, we can do this without thinking too hard about the usability. Let's add a new VBox container. We'll hide this one. Make this one be full rect. This will be save screen. And I'm thinking we'll have 2 parts. We'll have a line edit at the top. This will be like save file name field. We're actually gonna have to do this with a couple of. We'll have to put an HBox in here, so we can put the a little button next to this guy. So let's add a button. This will be save file name button. So kind of distinguishing between these 2 ways to save. Save as. And we need this one. We'll set some, what is the word for that? Size flags. We'll set some size flags, which we will expand horizontally. That is good. And, oh, I remember in here I made these bigger, and I decided they were too big. Well, actually, no. We can make Godot do the sizing for us. If, okay, so this is this size. If we do what we just did below, set the size flags. Hang on. There's a way to do this. I think, though, because the parent of this is a viewport, that we have to have this not be full rect, but actually have a specific size. Hang on. In the VR main, when we're setting up this viewport 2D and 3D, we're saying the viewport size is 300 by 200. So I think if we set this to a specific size of 300 by 200, which is definitely too small for this, and then this has got to be full rect. If these, we set the size flags on these to vertical shrink, or no, vertical expand, shrink. There's a way to do this. There's some way to do this. Or do I have to set these to their specific sizes? Does this have to be set to 300 by 200? Or it's just going to grow? Rect. Oh, I have this min size. Okay, we don't want min size. Then here, set the size flags to vertical expand. And that is still too big. Okay, and then if I set this one to full rect, will that do what I want? Okay, I think this will work so long as we don't make anything that is too big to fit within our 300 by 200 size. Okay, so then our save screen will also exist in this space, and below the save as stuff, we need a section for kind of like existing files, and that will be, can just a plain VBox have a scroll bar? Or do I have to make like a scroll bar node? I think we do have to make a scroll bar node. So I'm going to add not those. I want a scroll container, and it's going to expand to take up the rest of the space. So size flags, expand, expand. And what are you complaining at me about? Scroll container is intended to work with a child control. Yeah, of course. VBox. And then in here, we're going to put buttons. So let me just put a button as kind of a example. And I guess, yeah, we'll have to set some size flags on it. Okay, so let's name some of this stuff. This HBox, I don't think we need to name. Scroll container, we don't need to name. This will be save existing container. And I'm just going to put like an example node here, existing file. Set the size flags. Why is it not? Oh, because this needs to be set. This also needs to be set to expand. Okay, yeah, this I got wrong. This shouldn't be vertical here. There. Okay. That's roughly how I want this to look. So we need to add a little bit of boilerplate code here, which is like current screen and some code to show a screen, show screen, current screen. I guess it's going to be a control, and show screen is going to take a screen name, which is a string. Oh, come on. Stream typing. I always type worse on a stream. Okay, so we'll say if current screen visible equals false. And then we need to grab the new current screen, which will be this, and then get node, the screen name, and then current screen visible equals true. And so here we want to have the save world button. Change the screen, do show screen to save screen. And yeah, we'll want to have some stuff that happens when a screen is shown. So we'll add a little thing here that goes if current screen has method setup screen. We'll call this method. And the save screen is going to have its own script. Do I really want to do that? Is this code complicated enough to justify that? Or should I just do it all here in this bit? I'm kind of inclined to just do it all here in this bit. Let me comment this out in case I change my mind in 1 minute. But let's just do it all here. I don't think it's going to be very much stuff overall. Okay, so what do we need to grab? We need the save file name field. We need the save existing container. And first thing we need to do is clear out the children in the save existing container, whatever was there before. So we get children, save existing container, remove child, save existing container, or no, child queue free. And we are going to need a save directory constant, which will be like user worlds. Okay, yeah, save world directory. Actually, the fact that we're doing a save screen for both saving worlds and saving libraries is leading me to believe that this having its own script was probably the right idea. But for now, let's just keep moving with this. We can always refactor when we get to the libraries. It's okay. Directory stuff is always just a pain in Godot because of the weird API that's here. Something exists. Dir exists. Save world directory. So say if dir exists, save dir directory, then we need to list the contents of this directory. Which I never remember how to do. I think we have to do open. Dir open. Save world directory. And let's go to the docs. Godot directory. There's this really great synopsis up here, which tells you everything you need to know. So I think I'll probably like copy some of this stuff. And maybe I could even get rid of this exists because we have this OK check here. So we can do save world directory. Oh, mixed tabs and spaces because I copied it from the docs. Hang on, Godot. Oop, wrong way. Oop. Okay, while file name does not equal that, if dir current is a dir, okay, geez, I'm just dealing with indentation here. Okay, that should be good. So we don't want directories. If it's not a directory, that's when we want to deal with it. And then we want to make a new button. So we'll say var save file button equals button new save file button text equals this file name. We need to set some size flags, which I don't do from code very often. So size flags horizontal or equals size expand and fill. And we need to connect to them. So connect to it. So connect pressed. Come on, autocomplete me some signal names. Connect pressed self. So on save existing. How about on save world, and we'll pass in the file name. And then we have to add that to our save existing container, add child, save file button. So now we have the buttons for when we're going to save an existing thing, which I guess, I don't know why I did that first. given that we are, oops, I shouldn't have gone there. I went to the wrong set of windows. Do I have to call lister end? Closes the current stream. It's been fully processed. Get next does not matter. Okay, I'll put that on there. It wasn't in the example, but dir list dir end. And is there a dir close? No, we have open but not close. That's an odd lack of symmetry. Okay, so that should populate those buttons. I'll just make a little stub for this unsave world file name thing, because the next thing we need to do is handle this save file name button 1. So when this button is pressed, I'll actually put that maybe here. And then this one will also call on save world, and it will pass in the file name, which it will get from save file name field text. And then here we get to emit the signal, which will get us closer to actually writing the file. Emit signal, save world, file name. All right. We'll test that in a moment, but that should be all of the UI bits. Let me connect the signals, and we'll write something to the console just to make sure everything's all connected up. So that was in VR main. We're going to connect to this save world signal on file management, save world on file management, say management, save world. And I think we'll pass it off to the builder manager again, because both VR and desktop will want to do the same thing. Oh, and this takes a file name. And we also want to hide the menu afterwards. So let's get down to Builder Manager. Lots of indirection. I hope you enjoy indirection. Yeah, let's put this at the top. The saving and loading stuff at the top kind of makes sense. Save world, file name, string, void, pass. Oh, something I want to do is pass in the absolute file name rather than just the file name itself, which is what this is going to do by default. Let's go to file management. I want to return save world directory, or maybe not save world. It's just like world directory. I'll save, I don't know. We'll stick with this for now. I'll rename the constant later, maybe. Save world directory plus slash the file name. Okay. Let me send this to headset. While I'm waiting for that to go, I'll see if anybody's been chatting anything. Not so much. Here we go. And we'll go to, oh, why aren't they expanded? I missed some flag somewhere. So save. Oh, and it's didn't hide the previous? Oh, because it's not set as current. Ah, okay, so there's definitely some changes that need to be made. And up here, we'll just type some junk, hit save as, and let's see what appeared in the console. Save user worlds. Okay. Oh, and I kind of want an extension to be on these file names too. which we will add in here. This be like arc world. I don't know what to call it. Just a made-up extension. Antonio says, "I'm focused. Having you in stream makes a good mood to work on stuff." Cool, thanks. I'm glad that I can be of assistance. Let's see if I can see what I need to change here that's getting us messed up. So this is set to what? I had it set to a specific size. I switched it to full rect. We'll see if that does something like what we want. These buttons, I think I want them to be bigger. Whatever, I'll deal with that in a moment. The other thing is, on ready, we need to do some initial setup. We want to get, how do you do that? It's like get child index 0. So this would be like first child, and then we want to only do that if there's more than 0. So if get child count is greater than 0, we get the first child, and then we call show screen first child name. Okay, that's how we'll sort of initialize our state, so that the show screen will hide the menu when we click save. Let's just see if this works. How are we doing on time? Oh no! 20 minutes left. I mean, I don't know. If we do manage to implement saves, which I don't think we're that far from doing, that would be pretty good. Implementing saving as a 2-hour endeavor. Oh, it's now showing both things. Why is it showing both things? Oh, because I didn't hide this one. Okay, so to initialize, we will do a couple of things here. Get child count. Okay. We're going to set a first flag to false. We're going to loop over a range that goes up to get child count. I'm going to say if, actually no, we'll start with first as true. If first, then we will say so var child equals get child I, and then if first, we will show screen this child name, set first to false because we've already processed that, and then any other child we find we'll make invisible. There. Does that initialization look better? Let's give it a shot. Just draw a little bit while I'm waiting. Looks like a crash. Let's try again. Tell things are happening behind the scenes because the frame rate's a little choppy. Either that or tracking's weird over here. Did it get me? Oh, okay, there we go. Blackness. The blackness of the metaverse. Okay, so this time it is only showing one. I press save, it shows the other. We enter in some stuff, hit save as, it goes away. And when I look over here, it printed out save user worlds, arc world. Okay. At what point should we ensure that this directory exists? Because I feel like Builder Manager shouldn't be responsible for that when it's saving. Maybe just as a temporary hack, we'll do it here. I'll make a little to-do. Move this somewhere more central. And we're going to do var dir equals directory. Say if dir directory exists or not exists, really is what we care about. Save world. Not dir exists, then dir create, not create, make dir save world directory. Okay, yeah, this constant should really be in an autoload somewhere, and this setup should really be, I don't know, somewhere central also, maybe the same autoload. Okay, so it exists. Now, world saving. Save the cheerleader, save the world. So we have the world object, which has a voxel object in it. It is a Godot resource. I very purposefully made the voxel objects and the voxel libraries be Godot resources because we could save them and load them and potentially even load them in the editor, which is something I would like to potentially do at some point. Like editing voxel objects in the editor could be interesting. But what do we do to save a resource? Is that in resource loader? This is only loading. Only loading occurs in resource loader. Where does resource saving happen? Let me just Google it. Godot GD script save a resource. Resource saver. I knew about resource loader. I've never used resource saver. So what kind of stuff do we have going on here? Saves a resource to disk given the path. We have some flags, relative paths, bundle resources. I think we probably want this flag, bundle resources, just in case. I don't know that there are any external resources, but that's what we want. So resource saver, save. Hang on, what are the arguments to this? Path, resource, save flags. So file name, voxel object, and the flags, we want flag bundle resources, flag change path. Yeah, we probably want that. Big endian, I mean, is that important? Will it be little endian by default, or will it be possibly little endian, possibly not? I guess I would like to know that, because if it alternates, I mean, yeah, save it as big endian. That sounds like a good idea. Yeah, let's enable a bunch of these flags. So what did they start with? What was their prefix? Flag. I guess resource saver flag. Autocomplete, autocomplete, autocomplete. Okay, flag bundle. Is it external bundle resources? Bundle resources. Hey, there's my autocomplete. Okay, resource saver flag big endian resource saver flag. What was the other one? Change path. Okay. Theoretically, this should do all the things. Hey Zozo Dehante, welcome to the stream. Let's see if our saving works. It might. And then we'll be able to see it in the save dialog thing. And then we will implement loading, which should probably go way faster than saving. What time is it? Ooh, man. Okay, maybe we could do it in 10 minutes? That would be really cool. Let's deploy this. Guess I'll keep looking here until it's done, so I know what the progress bars are up to. Come on, Oculus. Okay, so we're going to draw a thing. We're going to open our menu. We're going to go to save. I'm going to type W1. Save as. Something happened. Oh, this doesn't go back to the first screen. Okay, well, what are we going to do about that? I guess let me add the code for that, and then we will very quickly redeploy that and try it again. So here I would need to do show screen, main menu, right? That's what we're calling that. File management, or main screen, main screen. Okay, let's redeploy. Oh, 20 until what? The end. The restaurant, the end of the stream. I like the Douglas Adams reference, the clean. Dr. Revert, welcome to the stream. I didn't see you join. Resource Saver, you were totally right, man. I've just never used it before. I need to stop throwing pop culture references. I look weird. The clean, if all of your pop culture references are related to Douglas Adams, that's fine. That is, that doesn't look weird to me. He's one of my favorite authors. Oh, can you guys see this? Yes, you can. Okay. And it did not show us the world we just saved, so that's not a good sign. But I come back in here. All right, save, and it's not showing us anything. Well, what can we do? What can we do to see what's going on? I could load up SideQuest and actually poke around the file system. That is one possibility. Let's look at some easy things here first. I guess another thing we can do is drop a breakpoint here and then see what is happening. We'll do that first, and then if that doesn't work, we'll bust out SideQuest and take a peek. Ooh, someone's saying something. Can Godot hot swap scripts in VR like it does on a local run? Yes, yes it can. 9L, hey buds! Welcome to the stream, 9L. As in, you modify the editor and the debugger can reload on the fly without full deploy. Yes, it can. It totally can. It gets weird sometimes, but I'm going to try it right now. So let's see if it works. So I just made that change. And I'm going to, I guess, save as again. But I'm going to open this up, and it should give me a breakpoint. Yep, totally gave me a breakpoint. Got stuck. Let's go over here. And so we'll see if it opens. Step over. It did open. Lister, file name, get next. Well, file name does not equal nothing. If not current is dir. Okay, so what was that file name? Okay, that was dot. All right, that was the file name dot. File name equals get next. Current is dir. Right now this is dot dot. I don't know if you guys can see that or if it's behind my floating head. And that was all the files. Quiet you. All right, so the file is definitely not there. The file is definitely not there. That is interesting. User world. It did appear when Builder Manager got the file name that the file name was correct. Why would Resource Saver fail? Let's look at the docs for Resource Saver. It probably returns an error code. It does. Let's grab the error code. If error does not equal OK, say print error saving world error, which is just going to be an integer. It's not super useful, but it will be something. So let's just try this again. Again, we'll take advantage of that that live reloading Dr. Revert. Oh, I have to hit continue. I have to get rid of my breakpoint. So let's get rid of my breakpoint. Okay. So, oh, it should also clear this field. I have to go in here and type new stuff again every time. Okay. Save as. Let's go look in here. Oh, and error saving world number 15. What is error number 15? I think that's in global scope in the docs. Error number 15 is file unrecognized. Do I need to use a Godot standard extension? Maybe. Let's try that. So here we are adding .arcworld. Let's add .tres. See what that does. So let's try our live reload again. Save. We'll make this W6. And we'll see what happens. Pressed 15. Ooh, it did not give an error. Okay, okay. Let's see, guys. Let's go into save. And it has it. W6 T-res. Okay, I don't think we're going to have enough time to actually implement loading, although it really would only take like 10, 15 minutes or something. But we have 3. We have 3 until I'm going off stream. So let's verify this really quick in SideQuest. So SideQuest will let me download files from my headset. I have no idea where Godot saves stuff, though. Do you guys know? Oculus downloaded APKs, movies, music, notifications, Oculus, avatars, pictures, podcasts, ringtones. I have no idea. I legitimately don't know. I want to just look at that T-res file and here we go. Here we go. So com dot, I think I called it architect. Or I called it nothing and I got some weird default. Let me go look in the project settings, or no, export settings. That's where it is. In export. Okay, org Godot engine generated name. So I usually rename these to be like com Snowpet Games architect or something, but I did not. So we need to get from com to org. There's nothing here. Okay, that wasn't Spot. What is OBB? What is that? Anyone who does more Android stuff than me know? Yeah, I mean, this looks like game data. It's there. Okay. I guess we can't look at the T-res. No. And that sucks. I'll figure it out later. I'll Google it up. search around. I kind of want to try to really quick implement loading. I mean, don't you guys? How hard would it be? Like, we need to, well, actually, okay, so let's commit this. This all looks reasonable. Implemented world saving. Not fully tested. Push that up to GitLab. Let's take a little more time, guys. I actually usually have a Friday meeting, a work meeting, shortly after the stream, but I do not today because my client that the meeting is with is a university, and they take off for every possible holiday, and I believe today is Cesar Chavez Day, so that meeting is not happening. So let's just quick try this. If it takes us an extra 10 minutes, it takes us an extra 10 minutes. Extra half hour, that'd be too much. But this, I think we can do. We're doing it the cheapest way. I will refactor someday, one day. But for now, let's just do it. Load file name, field, on ready var, load existing container, load existing container, and we need to implement the button, couple of buttons. Yeah, actually, let's just not even implement like the thing where we type it in. Actually, there is no need to have a thing where we type it in. That's not even... Okay, let's delete that. We don't want to type in file names. We just want to see the stuff that's there. Okay, so we don't need the existing file name. All we need to do is when load world is pressed, is get this signal, have it do basically all the same things as save screen is doing. Some minor changes. So we're going to show load screen. We're going to do load existing container. We're going to add, okay, these are not save file buttons, they are load file buttons. We're not doing on save world, we're doing on load world. Func on load world file name. And here we will show screen main screen, and we will emit this signal, which will be load world, not library, bad autocomplete, file name. And we will pass this along the same way as we had before. Load world, load world. Just copy this one since I think it's going to be basically the same, just with some name changes. Load world, load world. And then we need to go over to here. We'll just copy this. This will be load world. I need to take a quick look at the resource loader docs. Not sure I remember how it passes us the resource versus gives us an error. Resource loader. So let's take a look. Load returns the resource. How do we get the error then? Loads the resource given path, blah, 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 blah. Type hint, cache is true. Yeah, we want to bypass any kind of caching. Returns an empty resource if no can handle the file. So I'm not entirely sure how we get the error if there's an error, but let's just try it. So resource loader. I'm also going to put just a print statement here. The does it do anything at all check. So file name, resource loader, load. So take the file name. Oh, we need to pass that no cache argument. I'll have to look that up again. This will be voxel object. If voxel object equals null, print error loading world, return, oh, not error, if voxel object. Okay, and then we need to do this and this. Okay, let's give that a shot. I'm just gonna kind of look around really quick and make sure these things look roughly correct. I'll check your guys' comments in case someone's screaming at me that I did something wrong here. You can probably print out the location. So because I just got out of a meeting. Hey, David V, welcome to the stream. Oh, try globalized path to get the actual path. That is a good idea, Dr. Revert. To get the actual like path on the system. I should try that, but I want to see this thing do a thing. You know, I want to see it actually load something. So let's redeploy as a way to just get a fresh slate here. Come on, come on, come on, Oculus Quest 2. Okay. Let's get out of the blackness. Now, we should be able to just go straight to load this W6 T-Res. Let me hit it. Didn't load. You know what? I have a feeling I didn't put together the whole path. Yeah, load world W6 T-Res. Cool. So I know exactly what the problem is there. Here we were building the we were building up the file path before passing it to the signal, and this time we were not. So that should work. Let's try this again. Load W6 T-Res. All right. This time I got the right path. Worlds W6 T-Res, but something went wrong. Let's go up to Builder Manager. Hey, David, how do you like the Quest 2? I'm sad that I didn't get much chance to use my Gen 1. Yeah, you know, the life cycle was so short on the Quest 1 to the Quest 2. It was crazy. Like, when I got my Quest 2, which was basically as soon as possible, as soon as it was available for purchase, I got my Quest 2, and it felt like, I just got my Quest 1. This is so weird. My pa still plays on his Quest 1, and he plays daily. He plays that thing every day. And he loves it. My Quest 1 right now is on loan to a friend who I'm trying to get into VR. I'm hoping he'll purchase a Quest 2 when I ask for my Quest 1 back. But the Quest 1 is still really nice. I mean, the Quest 2 is definitely better. It has higher resolution, faster processor, can do a faster refresh rate. The controllers are a little bigger, a little bit more comfortable. The headset itself, if you buy this extra strap that I have, is quite a bit more comfortable than the Quest 1, but without this strap, the Quest 1 with the default equipment is more comfortable, I think, than the Quest 2, but again, that's all personal preference. Yeah, okay, so why isn't this working? It loads a voxel object. It did not print that there was an error, right? It did not print that there was an error. It gave us something. We have some kind of thing. The voxel library should have been loaded up as part of the voxel object. I guess let's set a breakpoint. Let's set a breakpoint and see. Oh, there was a thing we wanted to pass to resource loader, wasn't there? no cache, type hint. What's type hint for? An optional type hint can be used to further specify the resource type that should be handled. Oh, okay. That actually is something we should probably specify. I think it shouldn't matter, but we want a voxel object, and we want cache false, right? Or no cache true. Okay. I've been considering buying the Steam headset. Would games you are creating work on other platforms? By Steam headset, do you mean the Valve Index? Because that used to be a really great headset. But at this point, I don't know if I'd recommend it. Like it's still a great headset in theory, but every little bullet point you could find for the Valve Index is better on the Quest 2, except for maybe the controllers are better on the Index. And the Index costs $1,000. If you can get something that like has a higher resolution, comparable refresh rate, no wires, inside-out tracking as opposed to being wired and having to set up base stations, and the less convenient one costs $700 more. I mean, I don't know if I'd recommend getting that in this era. Anyway, I'm getting too talky. I want to get this thing done here. Let's see. I'm going to hit load my W6T-res. I've hit the breakpoint. And let's inspect this voxel object that we have loaded. I mean, it's an object. Oh, here we go. Here's the inspector. The voxel library is null. Why is the voxel library null? That is probably the problem. The voxel library should have been loaded. It should have bundled it when it saved it. And for some reason it did not. Let me go take a look at it and just see if there appears to be like an obvious reason why that might be the case. Let's go look at voxel object. It exports the resource voxel library, which should mean that it gets saved, right? And the voxel library, if we go look at the voxel library, it does not exactly export its voxels. It does this special thing here, which should still lead to the voxels themselves getting saved. Huh. I think this is the point where we need to actually get the T-res file. So I did not pull off my hope of getting loading working. I think it's probably time to call it quits, and I'll keep working on this off stream. I guess I didn't answer the second half of David's question. Would the games you're creating work on other platforms? Yes. So I'm primarily targeting the Quest with this thing, but my goal is to also make a WebXR version, which should work, everywhere. It's a web-based technology. I may also make a Steam VR version, but I don't know. I'm not sure about that. There's just, I don't know. Not that many. There's more people with Quests than there are people with like PC VR headsets. I don't know. Maybe I'll consider it. So yeah. So they would all be ports. You mean like that I was designing it for the Quest first? Like, yeah. More people have Quests than other stuff. It's the most accessible platform. Right now, it's like the best bang for your dollars. I don't really see a compelling reason until someone comes out with a new headset that either is so much better that it's worth the cost, like the Index used to be, or it matches the Quest in price point. I just don't see any reason to use any other headset. I mean, I see reasons. The I don't like Facebook reason, I guess, is the reason. But like if you're only looking at cost and like features, I don't see any other reason to use any other headset. Anyway, thank you everyone for coming. I had a lot of fun on the stream because I got to do VR stuff. I hope to talk to you guys on the Discord. Let me know your thoughts on doing VR versus our usual netcode stuff, or other random things like maybe doing Godot and Rust. But yeah, I will talk to you guys on Discord and the next stream. Take care. Bye-bye.